Hi, everyone. Welcome to another one of our Pacer Family Nights for Fall 2025. If you're joining us live, thanks for being here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. As you know, we've kind of been going through different campus offices and resources throughout this semester. And tonight we're going to be spending some time with our Director of Student Involvement, which is Kristen Cook. And she's going to be talking a little bit about the opportunities that your student has to engage and be involved on campus throughout the entire academic year, but specifically a lot of things that are coming up in this fall semester. So if your student's looking for ways to kind of get engaged and be a bigger part of peace, Kristen is really kind of the mind behind everything for student involvement. So I'll pass it off to her and kind of let her get started. But yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Megan. I'm going to share my screen. But yes, thank you so much for being here or watching online. My name is Kristen. I'm our Director of Student Involvement, like Megan said. Our office oversees lots of different things that we'll talk about today. I'll highlight some programs we have coming up that you might want to, let your student know about, and then talk about a few things for next semester, and then take any questions that you have. We are known as basically the one-stop shop for getting involved on campus. And yes, this is a picture of me going down a water slide at one of our events. I always like to include that because I also am involved on campus and I like to participate in our events. But we host large events on campus, small events on campus, just ways for students to get out of their residence halls and get involved and just be part of the community. And host those like memory making events that hopefully they will reference when they graduate and people ask them what their favorite memories were at Peace. We also oversee our student organizations on campus, helping new ones get registered, helping current ones run and exist and host events and gain members for students on campus. So that's a great way to get involved. We also oversee some leadership programs. I'm actually hosting a leadership workshop on Thursday and Friday of this week about the Enneagram, which is a personality system that I like to work with, that I'm kind of just going over with students of how they can apply that to their leadership on campus. We also host a day of service every year. We host voter education weeks, and we also oversee our new student experience and orientation, which is great. And another way I'll talk later about how like returning students, non-first year students can get involved and give back to campus. And then we also employ several students in our office through the federal work study program and through some other paid leadership opportunities that I'll talk about. When we talk about involvement, the quick thing to think about is, joining a student organization or being in a leadership role. But it can also be just working on campus instead of working off campus and being involved in that way. Our student workers that work for us are called PACER assistants, and they are some of the most involved people on our campus. So I like to highlight employment as well as an opportunity for involvement in our office, but also in other offices on campus. So that's kind of an overview of the things we oversee. To go a little bit more in depth, I'll kind of break down some of those areas. The first thing that we like to promote is Pacer Engage. This QR code you can scan on a phone and it will open up to our involvement software. So if you're on a desktop, you can go to pacerengage.peace.edu. Or if you're on a mobile device, I recommend downloading the Cork app, CORQ. And either way, you can log in if you're a student and see everything. If you're a family member, though, you can also log on and just see anything that's listed as public, which is most of the information on the site. So that's a great way to see what student organizations we have on campus, what events are coming up, and just when different clubs meet and other information and forms that we have on there. So I like to plug Pacer Engage just because it's the easiest, no barrier to entry way. So if your student does not have the app or has not been on that site, I would highly recommend you encourage them to check that out if they're trying to go to some things on campus or get involved in a student organization. So that's a great way to start getting involved. We also recommend that folks join a student organization on campus or a club. And so if maybe they didn't go to our involvement fair at the beginning of the year, but now they're ready to join an organization on Pacer Engage or in the Quirk app, you can find the president, the vice president, the treasurer of these organizations, and their emails are listed. So your student could, send them an email asking to join the organization or when's your next meeting and get involved that way. Student organizations also use the site to promote their upcoming meetings and events. So that's a great resource. Other ways to get involved are every year student government is looking for class representatives. So we currently have an open junior and senior class representative role. So if they were interested in joining, that is something they could do right now. We just ran our first year class representative elections. So we will be looking for new representatives next year for students of all class levels. So that's something that they could apply for in the spring semester for next academic year. There's definitely lots of on-campus job opportunities through our federal work study program, but also some offices hire interns or other non-work study related opportunities. So that's great, like I mentioned. Also, several of our sports allow walk-ons. So I know some students maybe came to play soccer, but then they play lacrosse in the off season kind of to stay in shape. So those are opportunities that you can also take advantage of just to, stay active, meet a new group of friends. So that's a great opportunity as well. I talked a lot about events already, so I'm going to skip that. Students can volunteer. I'll talk about an event coming up soon, but we do have an event every year that we bring to campus external groups that are looking for volunteers. Some students maybe need volunteer hours or want just to give back to the community. So we offer opportunities for students to get engaged off campus as well. And some of our on campus student groups also do volunteering, as well as we host a day of service every January. So we encourage folks to sign up for that and give back to our local Raleigh community. And then for some of the on campus employment opportunities that are not work study, I listed a few here. So becoming an orientation leader. So we start recruiting for that in the spring semester. So if maybe your student went through orientation and wants to be the one leading next year's students through that, or they can apply for that, and that is a paid role. Resident assistant RAs in our residence halls get paid as well and offer free housing. So that's a great benefit. And then peer mentors are another opportunity to help first year students through their first semester, their first year experience class, first year seminar course, being a peer tutor. So maybe they're really good in a subject and they want to tutor some students at our tutoring center. There's lots of other roles like that. So those are great, one for leadership skills, but also just a way to get involved on campus and maybe give back or make a little extra money. So those are some opportunities we like to point out. Why I always like to say why involvement matters. And there's lots and lots of studies out there that show that getting students who are involved have higher grades, better cognitive development, better sense of psychological well-being, improved leadership skills, which we know is the number one thing that employers are looking for. So being able to demonstrate your leadership abilities and have things on your resume for when you graduate. Also increasing multicultural awareness, career readiness, all of these things that help make successful graduates. So there is a point to being involved outside of just having fun, even though we do also promote just having fun and making friends, developing new skills, trying something new, maybe spending more time in a passion area like game design, for example. And the number one thing we see from students who are involved is just an increase in confidence and confidence in themselves to be able to go out into the world and, try new things, try hard things, excel. So we love to promote involvement just to kind of build that confidence before they leave us in their 4 short years if they're here full time. But these are just some photos from past involvement. This is our day of service. The top photo in the bottom is from our Waterpalooza event, which happens every fall, which is always very fun. So. Here's a list of some of our active student organizations right now. So we have lots of different areas of interest. We have a theater company, for example, DECA, which is a business organization. A game development club is in the process of being registered right now. Also, a live music organization, which both plays live music, but also just goes to see live music in Raleigh because we're in a great location for that. We also have Wired, which is a student advocacy group for students with disabilities and also just folks who want to learn more about disabilities and advocate for folks on campus and advocate for just more inclusive practices on our campus. So we have a wide variety of things that students can get involved in. Just by joining the organization or going to their events or eventually maybe joining their executive board and getting more leadership opportunities. And if you don't see something that you know your student would want to be involved in or maybe were involved in high school, it's very, very easy to start an organization. We have two pending right now, and they are One is by a first year semester freshman who just, wanted to do the live music student organization, and he's about to be done registering and up and running, and it's only September. So it's very easy. We like kind of walk your student through how to do it. So feel free to send them to our office if they are interested in starting a club. Okay, so I wanted to go over also just some upcoming opportunities for what your student can expect this semester from our office. First up, I wanted to highlight some events that our student government hosts. They're our student liaisons between students and upper administration. They do lots of advocacy work, but they also plan lots of fun events for students on campus. This is the wrong flyer for this. I don't know how I didn't catch that, but they host campus partner and other town halls every month. So there's 3 town halls. One is tomorrow from 4 to 6. So if they want to come and hear from different campus partners like housing and residence life, they can ask the director of housing and residence life questions. They can ask our dining staff some questions. So we're just going to have them there to kind of share what their department does, what their goals are for the year, and seek any feedback from students to help improve their experience. Our class representatives will also run a town hall in October, and then there'll be a like reflections of fall town hall. So if your student's really passionate about advocacy and improving the student experience, these are great events to go to. We always feed them, and their feedback is immediately used in student government to make improvements on campus. So those are some upcoming ones for the town halls. We also have quite a few community events because we are in a great location in Raleigh. And so we have access to local Raleigh events as well that we promote to students. So the top one is our movie on the lawn at the Halifax Community Center, which is run through Raleigh Parks. They are a block and a half from campus, and they have a big open field area, and they're hosting a movie night this week as well. So that's really easy if your student lives on campus. It's just a great Friday night thing to do. And it's also on our Pacer Wellness Day, which is this Friday, and students don't have class. So they can go and enjoy that night if they want. And then the Raleigh Film and Arts Festival is actually being hosted on our campus in October, and students will receive an email to, get a discounted rate, or they can volunteer and attend for free because they'll be volunteering. So those are just a couple opportunities that we also promote to students when they are near campus or close to campus or on campus. Okay, here's the correct flyer. Purpose at Peace 2, Part 2. We host an involvement fair at the beginning of the year, which was the Part 1 of Purpose at Peace. And this is our Part 2 of the series. This one is a bit more focused on ways to be involved off campus. So the first one was more of on-campus involvement, but this one we're going to have internship employers. So if your student's looking for an internship, we have full-time employers coming. If your student's maybe a junior or senior looking for full-time jobs, this is the volunteer opportunity. We have, I think, 9 different organizations coming in that are looking for volunteers in the local community. Some are working with kids, some are working on a farm, some are doing, repair work. So there's just a plethora of different ways that they could get involved with that. Our academic departments are also coming. So if your student maybe is undecided or questioning their major, they're there to answer questions and kind of help students declare a major or find a new major or minor. There's some general Raleigh resources coming and wellness resources, and we're also running a vaccine clinic at the same time. For this one, we are asking students to dress professionally just since we have so many external people. And if they're looking at internship and full-time employer opportunities, just to bring copies of their resume. So that one's coming up quickly, which we're very excited to host. Some fun events we have coming up are our Fall Fest, which are student government plans. This is just come paint a pumpkin, take a hayride. Our director of facilities, hooks up a trailer to the back of his gator, and he drags students around campus on a hayride, which is always so fun, and students love that. So this is great, and just a good time to hang out and be with each other. We also have in October our Peace Pride Week for students, which leads into our family weekend, which if you have not registered, the QR code is right here. And also I'm wearing our Pacer Family Program sweatshirt as a plug that you would get one of these if you come to family weekend. So register. But for the Peace Pride Week for students, there'll just be different spirit activities all week, getting ready for family weekend. There'll be some tie-dye, a volleyball spirit game. And then as part of Family Weekend, we have a lot of different opportunities to come together as a community, spend some time making s'mores, playing pickleball. going to the men's soccer game senior night, and a bunch of other fun things. So check out for more information. Scan this QR code. And then just some other big fall events coming up. We have a murder mystery party, a Y2K party, a blood drive, our annual tree lighting, which is this photo here, the last day of classes festival, late night breakfast, study jam. So these are all big events that have a little something for everybody if you're into music or into, murder mysteries, or just want to kind of show up and enjoy some hot cocoa, watch the tree get lit, and go back in your room. That we have that too. So. These are all great things that your student can look for on Pacer Engage. That's where
I,
we'll promote when and where they are. Go ahead.
I will, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I will also plug that I will be sharing out information as we get a bit closer to our annual tree lighting because families are also invited to that event. So if your student's not willing to go, you can drag them. You can get a family photo in front of our peace
Yeah,
letters, enjoy the cocoa, all the things. So just wanted to mention that for folks that are here and sneak peek if you're watching online.
perfect. Love it. But yeah, those are all exciting things coming up. And then looking forward to the spring, we have lots of small events, obviously, but our biggest events are listed here. So we start every semester with a Pacer Welcome Week. So in the winter, we still host Welcome Week just to welcome students back to campus, offer lots of fun opportunities for them. We do host our annual day of service, like I mentioned. I will be doing a Pacer leadership program. So if your student is interested in leadership and wants to learn a bit more, I will be launching registration for that in November, and it's kind of like an 8-week leadership workshop throughout the semester just to learn different skills and be able to apply them in their either formal roles on campus or just in their life in general. And you get a leadership certificate when you graduate from that program. So definitely tell them to sign up because I don't host it every semester. And our Red Rose Ball is it's kind of our version of like a dance or a prom. It's just something our student government plans. We go off campus to a nice venue, have food, DJ, photo booth, just kind of a fun night out. And we also host our now annual 5K. This will be our second time running the Peace Community 5K, which will be in March. So if you are a runner, feel free to be on the lookout. Also, you can also sign up and run in that. We'd love to have you back to campus in March for that. Um, so that you can also walk, you don't have to run. But we will be doing that, which is always a fun event. And then Showcase is a really amazing academic affairs event. So I don't run that, but I wanted to mention it here. It's a day where students don't have class all day on Showcase, and instead it's like a mini conference and they present, they go to each other's presentations on like kind of what they've been working on this year. It's to highlight immersive learning and all the great work that our faculty are doing with students and just the fun research projects and different things that folks are doing on campus. So that is an awesome day that your students will have the opportunity to be involved in as well. And then we have our Student Leadership Awards every year where we give out awards. We present leadership certificates for any leadership programs that were run throughout the year. Followed by our last day of classes. Our spring one is the really big one, which is pictured here. It's a big carnival festival on just to celebrate that a great end of the year. It's usually great weather. We have food, we have inflatables, we have slides, we have t-shirts, we have all the fun things. So that is a crowd favorite. So they should not miss that. And every night on the last day of classes, we have late night breakfast where we serve breakfast in the evening and have more fun opportunities just to kind of hang out and relax before final studying kicks in. Which during every reading day, which is the day before finals, our tutoring center does host a study jam. So if they want to study for finals but make it slightly fun, go to study jam. So those are some big things we have going on that folks can get involved in. Um, I do want to also mention just that I think someone had submitted a question about like a buddy program for first year students. And to answer that question, we don't have a true buddy program, like a one-to-one mentorship program to help first year students get involved and connected on campus. But in their first year seminar course, they do have a peer mentor which can act as that liaison for them, help share involvement opportunities, help connect them. This year they're doing interest groups. So if your student's interested in sand volleyball, there's a sand volleyball interest group, and just opportunities to connect with other students that have shared interests. So their peer mentor would be a great person to be sure to connect with. And then also just joining a student organization or meeting with some older students through like the Pacer Leadership Program can be a great way to just stay connected and have maybe more of that one-on-one experience. So wanted to share that. But now I'm happy to answer any questions, but also definitely you and your student can have this contact information. Our office helps run the Life at WPCU Instagram account where we post, upcoming events and such. And also our student government, their social media is Peace SGPA. They post a lot of great things. And then our emails are listed below. We are involvement at peace.edu. Student government is SGPA at peace.edu. And then that website for involvement is pacerengage.peace.edu. So I want to go over all those, but I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Looks
Mia.
like we got a thank you. Do you have any questions?
I have zero questions. Tons of information. Thank you so much. I got both QR codes, so
Perfect.
everything I needed. So thank you so much.
Great. Of course. Appreciate you
Yeah.
coming.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. Again, thank you to Kristen for being here with us tonight and sharing all that great information. Um, One more shameless plug for Family Weekend. We are hosting Family Weekend at Peace from October 24th through the 26th. So we're about a month out from the program, which is really exciting. We were doing a lot of planning today. Just so you know, registration closes on October 19th at 11:59. So you'll have basically until the 20th to register, but it's really the 19th. So we would love to have folks there. There'll be lots of events, a really great way to kind of engage with your student and campus in a fun way, whether you're a first year family or a returning family. But yeah, I wanted to make a shameless plug, and you can register for that on the Pacer Family Portal. And great. See you guys on the next one. I'm going
Thanks,
to stop the
Megan.
recording.